Hey, welcome back to What's Up Wednesday. This week, let's talk about Louisiana's roads. Yeah, highways, byways, yeah, they're all terrible. So, did a little research, and apparently the top 10 roads in America, number 8 is Louisiana. I would have thought it was worse than that, to be honest with you, because I hit a pothole on I-20. I'm pretty sure I saw a Volkswagen pass me on the way back out. So, it's pretty bad. Their potholes have their own zip codes, by the way. So anyway, it looks like the roughest roads in America. Number one's California. I really didn't expect that, although I do know they're rough in certain places out there. I used to live there. It's where I grew up, and I do know they have bad roads. It seems like they're constantly always repairing them or building them. So, but that was a little surprising. Rhode Island is number 2. Nebraska is number 3. Wisconsin's number 4. New York is number 5, Hawaii 6, Massachusetts, yeah, easy for me to say, Massachusetts is 7, Louisiana is number 8. That was a little surprising because I would have swore it was numero uno, number 1. Number 9 is Michigan, and then number 10 is New Jersey. Now some of those make kind of sense to me because it gets cold where they're at, and the roads kind of heave up from freezing, and the water getting under them, and so it kind of makes sense to me. But here's the part that don't make sense. The best roads in America, listed 1 through 5, is New Hampshire's number 1. Now, New Hampshire is up on the East Coast, and I know everybody knows that, and I'm just being redundant. But it's on the East Coast, and it gets really cold, it gets really wet, and it freezes. So why do they have the best roads in America? It just doesn't make sense to me. Alabama is number 2. Well, I'm a little biased because that's where I live. And I always knew Alabama had pretty good roads, but I did not understand or realize that they were number 2 in America for good roads. And we do have good roads. Georgia's number 3, Florida's number 4, and Minnesota is number 5. Now again, Minnesota, I got friends that live there. It gets 50 below zero there sometimes in the harsh winter, and the wind's blowing, and it raining, and it freezing. And they have the 5th best roads in America. And Louisiana is in a tropical climate for the most part. I do know that it gets cold and it gets wet, but it doesn't get that cold. Why do you have the 8th worst roads in America? Now, I say all this because Kathy and I went to Texas this last week, which I know you guys have been watching the videos and you saw that we were getting ready to go to Texas. So we went, visited with some friends in Navasota, had a really good time. Went to Houston, seen both 2 of my nieces, and really enjoyed the time with them. And then we went over to Fort Johnson in Louisiana to see another niece and her husband and their new baby, and really had a good time with them. But we left Texas, and their 2-lane road that we left from is 75 miles an hour and great roads. But as soon as we hit the state line for Louisiana, it's like we had gotten launched across a bridge and landed on the other side in a pothole, and then come out on the other side of it to do nothing but hit more potholes. I'm pretty sure there's more potholes per square mile than there is pavement in Louisiana. Now, if you get on I-10 and I-20, I-10 I've always considered to be really rough. I-20, man, it takes the cake. There is no contest. I-20 is definitely worse than I-10. And if you get to Shreveport, we got a surprise when we got there. A few miles out, it said absolutely no commercial traffic. Okay, I get it. They're working on the roads. I drive a 1-ton truck and pull a camper. I'm not a commercial vehicle. So I assume, which I should not assume, that doesn't apply to me, because I'm not a big rig. I'm not that long like they are. So, and I'm not as high as they are. So we go through there and we get into town, and they have got the road blocked off with concrete barriers on both sides. I literally had, 3 to 4 inches on each side of the trailer as we went through the concrete barriers, which is ridiculous, by the way. There was a perfectly good paved shoulder they could have set these out on and gave everybody a little more room. Now, I didn't hit any of it, and I consider myself a pretty good driver. Kathy was watching in one mirror, and I know it was making her really nervous, and I had slowed way down, probably making everybody behind me mad. But we made it through, and that was fine. But the concrete barriers, they're not going to have to paint them anytime soon because they got the car paint from everybody that's been through there hitting them things and black tire marks all over them. So I just don't understand Louisiana. Why? Why is it so tight through there when it didn't have to be? Anyway, I'll get off that, but I just didn't understand. It really made me mad because it happened twice. The first, when you first come into Shreveport, and then on the other side going out, it happened twice, and I just didn't understand what the deal was. I understand I'm not wanting commercial traffic through there when they're building a highway, but man, come on, really? So then I got to asking Kathy. I said, why do you think Louisiana's roads are so terrible when Texas on one side it was really good, and as soon as we crossed into Mississippi, their roads were really good. It was just Louisiana. I don't get it. So we had quite a discussion about it. And really, I think it comes down to it's either poor management of the funds that they have for the highways, state and federal funding, that they're just not using it for the right things, or poor maintenance of the highway system. They're just not doing good maintenance on it and letting it deteriorate. Or the third choice is both. I suspect it's both, but that's just me. Comment below if you got some kind of defense for them. Maybe you know what's going on and why their roads have been atrocious for the last 40 or 50 years I've been going across them. I'm more than 50, but 40 or 50 years we've been traveling them pretty good. And it's just always amazing to me how good the roads are on both sides of that state for them to be in such terrible shape in that state. It just doesn't make sense. So anyway, if you've been through there in the last, I don't know, 10 years, last year, comment below how bad you think it is. Because on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give it about a 12. It is terrible. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I got passed by a Volkswagen in one of them potholes, but it's just awful. Made myself a couple of notes. That's what I'm looking at, but I'll get off of beating on Louisiana. But we really did have a good time on our trip out to Texas and enjoyed seeing the family and the friends. And we go out there every year, and hopefully we get to continue for a long time. But man, I'm seriously starting to think about it might be a better option for me just to drive through Oklahoma and go back down than it is to go through Louisiana. We've never had anything in our trailer. Well, let me go back and tell you this. Our bed, we make the bed every morning, make the bed up, put the pillows on it just like it belongs. We had pillows 5 feet from our bed. Now our bed's in the rear of the trailer, which bounces more than the front, but they just do like a school bus. They always bounce more in the back than they do in the front. But for my pillows to get launched off that bed for 5 feet, how bad do you think it's riding back there? We always joke about these trailers being rolling earthquakes. Man, I think an earthquake ain't that bad. But and we had the glass carousel piece come out of the microwave. It's never come out, and it's in the front where it rides the best. It actually came out, landed in the floor, and didn't break. But the door was closed on the microwave, so it slammed it back shut after it exited out of it, I guess. But kind of humorous, I guess. You might as well find the humor in it. But it's terrible for your truck and your trailer and the suspension of it. And I actually had my butt come out of the seat with a seatbelt on a couple of times when we hit the bridge. It was so bad. It just surprised me that it would have such a ramp onto the bridge. Why they can't match that up any better. And on the other side, it was the same deal. You dropped off of it like somebody had forgot to pave it. But again, I'll get off the Louisiana road things. But you guys comment down below and tell me, do you think they're good roads? Because I'm telling you, man, I think they're most atrocious roads in America. Apparently, California and Rhode Island, some of them are worse. But I don't know. Like I said, I've been all around the United States, and Every time I go through Louisiana, I get a little madder about why we're spending so much money and it's not going into the road system. I guess I especially get mad around tax time every year when I end up having to pay a bunch of tax and then I get to ride on a third world road in some state in the United States. It just doesn't make sense to me. But I guess that's about all I want to gripe about this week. Usually I talk about something that's hopefully it's interesting to you guys, and usually it's something that one of you or several of you have asked me to talk about or show you something. This week I just can't get over how bad it is. But anyway, I did notice too, I was looking at the analytics on our YouTube channel just to kind of see where we were at, and apparently 9% of our viewers are subscribed. I'm not sure what's happened there because it used to be a lot more than that subscribed, but I have been watching some other channels and the other people are complaining about the same thing. So I'm not sure if it's YouTube that is unsubscribing people or what the deal is, but we can't be the only ones. But just go check, make sure you're still subscribed. If you're not and you enjoy watching our videos, consider subscribing. It helps us out. Hit the like button. Comments help us. So I'm not one all the time to be trying to get people to comment just to be commenting, but like on this one, I really would like to hear what you guys have to say about Louisiana roads, or tell me who's got one that's worse, and tell me why it's worse, because I would argue with you at this point that nothing's worse than Louisiana's roads in America. I was surprised that Hawaii made the list for the worst roads, but I guess maybe it's because they can't get the raw materials there to do it. I really don't know. It can't be a weather thing, I wouldn't think. So it's one of those things that makes you go, I just don't know why. But that would struck me kind of odd. Anyway, I guess that's about it for the week. We did go through Lufkin, Texas, and we went through a candy factory there. If you've ever had Chico sticks, that's where they make them, in Lufkin, Texas. We also met another YouTube couple that we watch all the time, and we actually wanted to meet them face to face for a change instead of just chatting with them. And if you've never watched their channel and you enjoy watching RVing stuff, and you want to watch a family that truly loves RVing together and hanging out together, and now they have actually sold their RV and bought them a house, and now they're doing all kinds of stuff with it. In fact, Kevin has bought him a new lawnmower and he's been riding wheelies on it. Yeah, go over and watch them. It's pretty funny. Their channel is Paving New Paths. That's Paving New Paths. Anyway, go over there and watch Kevin ride wheelies on his lawnmower. That's pretty funny. Feels pretty funny too, by the way. So anyway, that's about it for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got a little giggle out of some of it. Anyway, I'll see you next week. Until then, make each day count 365. Enjoy the journey. We'll see you a little later now. Watch out for the Volkswagens and the potholes too. We'll see you. Bye-bye.